The book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and 19. The meek shall also increase their joy in the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Hamashai, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Habashai, Wahara Kakadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, that scattered abroad amongst the heathen, some looking like the heathen, beginning with 144,000, preachers, teachers, and prophets, Shalom. Now we see this is going into how the meek, the humble, the elect of Israel, the elect of you so-called Negroes, Native American Indians, Hispanics, Latinos, Jamaicans, and Haitians, the elect of Yahweh Shema Shai of Israel are rejoicing, because we're in a time where Esau is going down, and with him going down, before he goes down, he's actually making us offenders for a word, and he's laying a snare that reproveth, or laying a snare or a trap for him that reproveth in the gate, and it's turned aside a righteous man for a thing of naught. And this is where we are. You get this word offender, right? He's making a man. This man is an Israelite man, all right, primarily, but also any man, but any man that speak upright. But only the nation of Israel could really speak upright, because only we were given the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shema Shai. But you do got Edomites and that speak somewhat upright at times, right? But you get this word offender, Hebrew 23:98, Qatar, I think it's Qatar, could be wrong. It says offender, where is it? To condemn, to blame, commit sin, fault, harm, he that has done loss, make offender for sin, purge. So you get the point. All right, trespass. So Esau, at the end of his empire, all right, he's making a man an offender, or a man of fault for the things in which they say, which is upright, all right, which is primarily the scriptures, all right, and also people who are going up against Trump and this administration and this new world order and what they're pushing forth, all right. Hey, they're using the CK situation to bring forth the next phase, which is the family of the word, right? To come down to kill the First Amendment, right? Freedom of speech, right? Which really, man, hate speech really is not freedom of speech, man. You can't say whatever the hell you want. But they're using the excuse to come after the elect of Israel, beginning with the preachers, teachers, and the prophets, man. All right? So everything Esau does is for a reason. All right? He doesn't just do things to be doing it. But really, it's not Esau, it's Yahweh Shema Rashad. Now, real quick, Amos, we got to get it, 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, said the Lord God, Yahweh Shema Rashad, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst of water, but of hearing the words of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Rashad. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east, and they shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. And that day shall the fair virgin and the young men faint for thirst. So the 2/3 of Israel that didn't get this word while the grace period was open, y'all gonna be the ones searching for truth and answers, man. And when you get to Isaiah 24, it's gonna be crying for wine in the streets. People gonna want to know what's going on. Well, people gonna seek the prophets, all right. But they're not gonna find them, all right. Especially 2/3 of Israel. All right, and that day shall the fair virgins and the young men faint for thirst. All right. So we got this right here, Pam Bondi, real quick.
We are looking for gamers who want to learn how to become video game testers, designers, or programmers. If any of these...
Amy, for how long that stops.
Pam Bondi, quote, we will absolutely target you over hate speech. And people saying, some headlines are saying they're going after the left. No, it's not the left or the right. It's everybody. You can't just target left and not target the right when it comes to speech, man. All right, and also this is going to show you, man, the hypocrisy of these damn Edomites, because they feel like they can say whatever they want to say and do whatever it is they want to do, and they could get away with it, but can't nobody else do it. All right, this how they are. But hey, like the scriptures say, the joy of the hypocrite is for a moment. All right, and this joker going down. Job, that's in Job of the hypocrite. But for a moment, Job 20:5, it says, verse 4, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach into the clouds, yet shall he perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? So you see, at the end of Esau's kingdom, he will be at the height of his pride, and he will be full of hypocrisy. But again, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. You see? So we're about to witness. We're witnessing at the end of this empire, Esau's empire, the height of his pride, but it's also going to be the end of him. All right, and they're never going to come back into power, man. All right, never. No nation. The only one that's going to be ruling is the nation of Israel, beginning with Yahushua. Now let's play this, man. So, hey, we're in the times, man. So, hey, we can code talk or whatever. Hey, they already got us. All right, because we are, hey, as long as we preaching the Bible and truth and sincerity, hey, they're going to take everything down, all right? Because you already know they're going to put everything within the system, computer system, this algorithm, words that we've already spoken, and it's going to, hey, take brothers' channels, man. All right? It's going to take brothers' channels. So, hey, it is what it is. You know, we'll continue to use wisdom through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. But, yeah, man, hey, it's about to be soon, and I've been saying it. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, hey, I believe it's going to be this year. All right? And the hate speech is also going to be, hey, us not being able to go out there and preach, teach, and prophesy, man. All right? So, hey, Lord willing, hey, it be this year. Because, hey, prophecy, hey, got to come to pass. And we already see it playing out. And we want these things to happen because we ready to get the hell up out of here and go home, man. But on Yahweh Shema Shai time, though, not our time. We ain't trying to rush the Lord. All right, so let's let this play.
Attorney General Pam Bondi drawing criticism from both Democrats and Republicans for comments she made on Katie Miller's podcast yesterday, talking about Charlie Kirk.
There's free speech, and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie in our society. We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
The Attorney General later forced to clarify those remarks, posted on Twitter, quote, hate speech that crosses the line into threats of violence is not protected by the First Amendment. It's a crime. Free speech protects ideas, debate, even dissent, but it does not and will never protect violence. It is clear this violent rhetoric is designed to silence others from voicing conservative ideals. Of course, when people talk about hate speech, they're not necessarily talking about incitement to violence, which is a whole other category.
Right. I mean, there's hate speech around, as we know, hate crimes, right, which can lead to violence. Obviously, hate speech that can lead to violence. But what about, I don't know, hate speech around hanging the former vice president of the United States? How about hate speech or inciting violence that leads to a violent mob attacking the United States Capitol on January 6th and a police officer being killed? I mean, the hypocrisy around this is just astonishing, given that, what we seem to hear from President Trump is hate speech or mean speech or negative, anything he just doesn't like. Anyone who doesn't ask him a question that he deems inappropriate seems to be, hateful. We've seen him berate many of our CNN colleagues and others for any question he just deems is out of bounds. Yeah. So what's concerning here is, the U.S. Constitution is supposed to help us guide around what's hate speech in terms of any audience that we might be speaking to, not just people we don't like.
I saw a lot of conservatives on social media taking real issue with what Attorney General Bondi had to say.
Yeah, and I think that's why she had very worthwhile clarifications. Look, you can't yell fire in a movie theater. You can't yell bomb at an airport. There are consequences to those actions when they turn violent. We know that this killer was on Discord and all the chants talking to people wanting violence against Charlie Kirk. If this was aimed at another group besides conservatives, I think our tone would be a bit different. Look, I agree that there is a difference between hate speech and speech that's asking for violence or inciting people toward violence. But I think we're right now very close to that cusp and a lot of left-wing chatter, and it needs to be looked at. And by the way, the administration says they have evidence that groups are funding a lot of that. That should be looked into.
So Terry, our former colleague, ABC's Jonathan Karl, tried to ask President Trump about this earlier today. Take a listen.
A lot of your allies say hate speech is free speech. We'll probably go after people like you because you treat me so unfairly. It's hate. You have a lot of hate in your heart. Maybe they'll come after ABC. Well, ABC paid me $16 million recently for a form of hate speech, right? Your company paid me $16 million for a form of hate speech. So maybe they'll have to go after you.
First of all, the notion that Jonathan Karl has a lot of hate in his heart.
He's one of the fairest and most decent.
I don't think he has any hate in his heart. But what was your reaction when you heard that?
Well, first, as to Trump, look, this is basically what every petty autocrat wants. Make your whims the law. Okay, little clarity. There's no such thing as hate speech in American federal law. The words never appear in the U.S. Code. And the Supreme Court, for decades, Republicans and conservatives alike, have again and again and again said when the government wants to punish speech, they have to meet an incredibly high burden. That came in a case where somebody threatened to shoot Lyndon Johnson, in a case where somebody burned a cross on a lawn, in a case of stalking a singer-songwriter, and in the case of the Westboro Baptist Church, which staged these despicable demonstrations outside the funerals of fallen soldiers. Each time, the Supreme Court overturned a conviction won by the government. It is almost impossible to win.
But his comments there come the same day that President Trump posted on Truth Social, quote, "Today I have the great honor of bringing a $15 billion defamation and libel lawsuit against the New York Times, one of the worst and most degenerate newspapers in the history of our country, becoming a virtual mouthpiece for the radical left Democrat Party. The New York Times has been allowed to freely live smear and defame me for so long that stops now." In a note to staff, the New York Times publisher said, quote, "Everyone, regardless of their politics, should be troubled by the growing anti-press campaign led by President Trump and his administration." TW, any issues with that? What do you think of him suing the New York Times for articles that he felt portrayed him negatively?
Well, he has the right as an American to bring lawsuits against those who he thinks defame him. He obviously won the lawsuit against ABC for defamation when he was called.
Well, he didn't win it. They settled.
Well, they settled. But what was the core of it? It was defamation, being called a rapist.
The core of it was the business interests of Disney.
Well, right. Well, that helps. But why the case? Hold on a second. Why the case? Well, bear with me.
No.
Why the case was brought was for that reason. He has the right to do it, okay? There is, I saw one poll in YouGov saying 67% of the American people do not believe that Donald Trump gets a fair shake. He often says that I could cure cancer and everyone would hate it. The fact of the matter is Donald Trump feels that he is uniquely picked on by the press. He is constantly challenging them, and I think he was trolling Jonathan Carl there. But I think this is his remedy to try to get at what is the core reason for why the media will never give Trump and his supporters a fair shake. Will it work? We will see, but he has the right to do it.
Well, I think that Jonathan Carl, once again, is not a hater in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But as far as the president bringing a libel suit, there is leadership interest there involved in there. I will say this. This whole discussion are the chickens come home to roost of the illiberal left's project begun 30 years ago to make speech violence, right? To make hate a crime. And they were always warned by libertarians, at some point, a government you don't like will use this against you. And that's what's happening now.
I think the other problem that I have with some of these lawsuits is it's not just that he's bringing the lawsuit against these networks. It's then saying, and we're going to mess with I'm going to use the levers of government to mess with your business interests. That is not appropriate. It's one thing to say, I'm going to sue you around speech that I think is inappropriate or because I have my First Amendment rights. But when you are using those levers to then create other problems for a business entity, that's where it becomes problematic. And unfortunately, we're seeing that happen over and over again.
Slow down, honey. Too fast, Trevor, too fast.
I know what I'm doing, Mom.
And you drive.
And there you have it. You see, so you see, these Trump and the people on his team, they could dish it. But they can't take it. So you see the hypocrisy of these people, man. The emotions are involved, and you see they say, hey, they just bringing forth these draconian laws, man. Like these unrighteous decrees. Hey, that's why the scriptures say, woe unto him that bring forth unrighteous decrees. Let's get that real quick. We'll close out. Cause that's exactly what they're doing. So fast. Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. See, woe unto them. So Yahweh Shema Shai is going to judge them, man. All right. It says to turn aside the needy from judgment, the nation of Israel, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. You see that? So that's where we at, man. And I just wanted to hit this real quick through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. Stay prayed up in the names of Yahweh Shema Shai. Shalom.